The ceiling fan hummed lazily above her, but the air felt heavy, too thick to breathe. Lena sat on the edge of the bed, staring down at the glowing screen in her palm. She hadn't gone searching for secrets, snooping was never in her nature. She trusted him, or at least, she had trusted him. The message had appeared like a stone dropped into still water. Last night was perfect. I can't stop thinking about you. Her throat closed. Her heart pounded in her ears. The name above the text was one she didn't recognize, a stranger intruding into her world. The bathroom door creaked open. Daniel stepped out, hair damp, towel slung low on his hips. He was humming their song, the one they had danced to at a friend's wedding years ago. For a dizzy second, she thought she must have misunderstood, that she had dreamed the message. But the phone in her hand told the truth. She raised her eyes to his face. Who is she? The hum died on his lips. He froze, water dripping onto the carpet.
What?
You know what I'm asking. Who is she?
Lena, it's not what you think.
Don't you dare insult me with that line. I read it. She held up the phone like evidence in a courtroom. Daniel's eyes flickered, and that flicker told her everything. He was guilty. Silence stretched between them, thick as smoke. She watched him struggle for words, but she didn't want them anymore. Words had been her comfort for nearly a decade, his goodnight whispers, his promises, his I love yous. And now she wondered how many lies had been. She stood, her knees weak. I can't even look at you right now. That night she lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling. The fabric itched against her skin, but she didn't move. The house felt different, colder, unfamiliar. She remembered the way he had kissed her forehead just 2 nights ago, tucking the blanket around her like she was something precious. And now she knew, while he did that, his secrets pressed against his ribs, silent and poisonous. Tears slid hot and relentless down her cheeks. She whispered into the dark, not sure if she was speaking to God, herself, or the emptiness. How could you do this to me? She wondered how long he had been living this double life. The ceiling fan hummed on. Indifferent. In the weeks that followed, Lena replayed everything. The vacations, the long Sunday mornings, the little notes he used to leave on the counter. Were they lies, too? At lunch with her best friend Maya, she finally said the words aloud. He was unfaithful. Maya reached across the cafe table, squeezing her hand.
Lena, I'm so sorry.
It wasn't just the sex. It was the deception. Every goodnight kiss, he knew. He knew, and I didn't. That's what breaks me.
Because you trusted him with your whole heart.
Yes. And now I feel like a fool for missing all the signs. One morning, Lena opened a fresh notebook. The first page was shaky, blotched with tears. Day 1, I don't know who I am without him. I feel worthless. Like if I had been enough, he wouldn't have looked elsewhere. She slammed the pen down, angry at herself for even writing it. Then she forced herself to keep going. But maybe it isn't about me not being enough. Maybe it's about him wanting more, always more. Maybe the betrayal says more about him than me. The journaling became her ritual. She wrote before bed, in the morning with her coffee, in the quiet hours of night when loneliness pressed in. Sometimes it was rage, curses scribbled across the page. Sometimes it was grief, long paragraphs of memories that felt stolen from her. And sometimes it was numbness, just a single word repeated, empty, empty, empty. 3 months after she found out, Lena asked him to meet her. They sat across from each other at a coffee shop, the same place where years ago they had shared their first date. He looked older somehow, or maybe she was just seeing him differently now. I want you to tell me, why?
I don't know. I was stupid. I was selfish. I didn't mean to hurt you.
You didn't mean to hurt me? You lied every single day. You kissed me goodnight while keeping her in your bed. Do you understand what that does to someone? He looked down, ashamed. But the sight of his shame gave her no comfort. For the first time, Lena realized she didn't need his answers anymore. The power was no longer in his hands. Healing was not linear. Some mornings, Lena woke up strong. Other mornings, she reached for the space where he used to lie, her chest aching with absence. She read books on forgiveness, though she scoffed at the idea at first. Why should I forgive him? He doesn't deserve it. But one night, while journaling, she realized forgiveness wasn't for him at all. I need to forgive so I can breathe again. Not to free him, but to free myself. I refuse to carry his betrayal like a stone around my neck. Maya convinced her to try a pottery class. At first Lena resisted. She didn't feel like being around strangers, shaping wet clay with shaky hands. But something happened when her fingers pressed into the spinning wheel. She felt messy, yes, but also alive again. Later that night, she journaled. Today I made something new out of broken clay. Maybe I can do the same with my life. Months later, when another woman from her circle confided that she had been cheated on, Lena found herself speaking words she never imagined she could say. Don't rush forgiveness. Feel the anger. Feel the grief. Even feel the numbness if that's where you are. Healing isn't about forgetting what they did. It's about remembering your own worth. The woman nodded through tears, and Lena realized she had become what she once needed, a voice reminding her that survival was possible. Lena didn't erase him from her past. He was still part of her story. But she stopped letting him define her future. She walked through the park one spring morning, the air cool and sweet, journal tucked under her arm. She had written the last entry she felt she needed. I am enough. I always was. His betrayal was never my reflection. It was his failure to see my worth. And now, I see it for myself. She smiled, not because the pain had vanished, but because it no longer ruled her. And that was freedom. Betrayal can feel like the end of your story, but it isn't. You may carry the memories, but you don't have to carry the weight of them forever. Healing takes time, sometimes rage, sometimes grief, sometimes silence. But eventually, you reach the place where you see yourself clearly again. And when you do, you'll know you were always enough.